Aaron Garcia, Toby Gale, Zaria Vrykal and Travis Teoh at the front of the Group 1 Superheat in Senior X30. Andrea Galimberti and Danish Chen from Sonny Ratcliffe and Leonardo Mori. The top 10 rounded out by Jerry G and Conrad Garrow. Sarah Kojima 11th from Eshton Yong in 12th position for JS Karting. Ryan Gunnar Vordena and Nathan Aria from Banya Yamchan and Sra Anoras. Behind them, it is Ethan Singer and Jonas Tan. Then we have Amir Danish and Panush Steenman-Kong. 21st on the grid for this one, it's the Eugene Racing driver, Michael Henderson. So as they run in close proximity on the formation lap, it is a bone-dry circuit, but there's a lot of tension in the air. And certainly for the likes of Aaron Garcia, it's going to be fascinating. Who is going to get the best of it as the drivers run through at the sharp end? Big racing set to come. Big moves on the horizon. And Aaron Garcia definitely in attack mode. We've said it time and time again in Senior X30. Expect the unexpected, because you never really know what's lingering around the bend. And certainly the Superheat Group 1, it's Aaron Garcia versus Toby Gale on the front row of the grid. Two of the world-class racers in this Senior X30 field. They'll always give us a decent spectacle. But Zaria Vrykal and Travis Teoh flying the flag for Malaysia on the second row. This circuit has practically become their backyard over the last year or so. And they want to make good hay while the sun's shining. So as the contenders getting themselves under starters' orders, the 220 is already under investigation. That is Panush Steenman-Kong. So I'm not entirely sure what he's under investigation for, but he's already under investigation before the race gets underway. He's already had 2 DNFs, one of which was caused by a technical flag. And he had a couple of incidents yesterday which were certainly on the back foot for him. And don't forget, there's only 36 spaces available on the starting grid for the final with 39 drivers in the field. So there's going to be a handful of drivers who are not going to be able to make it through to the final today. The biggest grid in Senior X30 history in Malaysia. So now we're going to the final corner to go up through the revs. The start is going to be an interesting one for Garcia and Gale. Are we going to get a clean start? We are, and off we go. A tough start. Garcia's not moving fast enough. Gale crosses the line, and he gets into the lead. Almost no start at all for Aaron Garcia, but he does manage to rise the revs in time, and Gale has got ahead of him. So Toby Gale getting the start he wanted, and it's bumping and boring through turn 3. Somebody's lost the chain guard. Something flew off the cart there in the middle. So it looks like we're going to get a technical flag. It's a black flag for Panush Steenman-Kong on the very first lap. So definitely a problem for Panush Steenman-Kong. And I'm fairly sure that's going to be game over for him. On the inside, trying to make the move there, Zaria Vrykal going for the move on Garcia, and he's got Travis Teoh with him as Toby Gale pulls clear out front. But Panush Steenman-Kong is having a miserable weekend, and I think it's just come to an end because surely he's not going to have enough points from these races with a black flag to get through to the final. That's pretty much spelled the end of his weekend here in Malaysia. But Gale is not only in the lead, but he's disappearing up front. Big dive down the straight. That is Panush Steenman-Kong making moves, diving up the inside, but he's already got a black flag. I wonder what his reaction's going to be when he passes it. Panush Steenman-Kong is still pushing on. I don't know whether he's seen it or not on the gantry. But Gale leads Garcia, Vrykal, Teoh, Chen, Mori, Ratcliffe, Galimberti, and Eshton Yong in front of Ethan Singer. What a great drive from Singer so far. First ever weekend in the championship and up in the top 10 of the Superheat. Very impressive. So with a couple of drivers trying to fight their way back after some difficulties. Vrykal's going to make the bid. On the inside line, he gets Garcia, but Garcia gets him on the switch. So Garcia temporarily loses the place, only for Vrykal to lose it on the outside, and Garcia was ready for it. So Aaron Garcia certainly stepping up the attack, but Toby Gale, who is in championship attack mode, leads the race. and he wants to disappear and win this one at a canter. He's had some difficulties over the weekend, but this is where Toby Gale comes good. Out of the final turn, and with 12 laps to go, it is very much game on for Gale. So as the drivers continue on their charge into the pits to retire, comes Panu Steenmankong, and he is not happy about it at all, I'm sure. But Steenmankong out of the race. Gale leads. Garthia second. Raikal third. Great battle further back. This is Maury having a battle with Travis Teoh and Danish Chen. So Maury's up into fourth position. But this is a great run for the Malaysian. He really loves going around here. And now he's going to hold his nerve as Travis Teoh tries to get the move on the inside line. The Singaporean, Danish Chen, waiting in the wings to make an overtake. Never easy to know where you're going to make that pass. And certainly for the moment, it all looks pretty aggro for Maury, Teoh, and Chen. So with Leonardo Maury moving up into fourth position, he can now hunt down Zadia Raikal. But Raikal is trying to get back on terms with Garthia, who has pulled a little bit of a gap. But Toby Gale is out of the tow range of Aaron Garthia. So I'm not entirely sure that Garthia is quite going to be able to have the legs to go back after Toby Gale again. 11 laps to go, and Gale is your leader. Garthia second from Raikal, Maury, Teoh, Chen, Galimberti, Ratcliffe, Kojima, Singer, Yong, Garrow, and Xi. Looking for those moves on the inside lights. Still a decent battle in the offing here as Danish Chen again looks to make a bid on Travis Teoh. So it's all settling down at the sharp end of the field. Don't forget they're on old tyres, so they can't really make great use of them at this point. But if you look after your tyres for the next few laps, then there's going to be a chance to make up some ground on the drivers around you. So there's still an incentive to keep circulating, keep finding the moves, and keep looking for the next big opportunity. Just because it's not a dial a minute, it doesn't mean that there isn't a big opportunity coming. And it looks like this tactic is working quite well up the inside line there, side by side, up and over the curbs. A very scary moment between the Kart Republic and the 254 there. So that was 258, I should say. That was Jerry T and Nathan Aria having a bit of a squabble. Nathan Aria fancying his chances to go through, and it didn't quite work out for him. So Toby Gale, 1.4 seconds clear of Garthia. When he's got a lead and he's got a decent kart underneath him, none of the other drivers will see which way he went. Now the man on the move here, and without any doubt at all, is Leonardo Maury. Fourth position, closing up on Zaria Raikal. He's clearly got a good kart beneath him, and he's making good reactions at the moment to move up the order. So Zadia Raikal, third position, but Leonardo Maury, his countryman, is trying to make the moves, and he's got a good chance over the top of the bridge. He closes in on the parallel. So Zadia Raikal definitely starting to make those moves to try and defend Leonardo Maury, because the Cosmic is definitely quick in a straight line. Here he comes. He'll be in the tow. So Zaria Raikal going quickly. There's Gale. He's the leader. Garthia second. Maury is right in behind Raikal now, so the move could be incumbent. We'll look to see where Leonardo Maury makes the play. Zaria Raikal, third position. Looking for that move on the inside line. Not easy to know where he's going to try and go for it. But Leonardo Maury certainly hunting down Zadia Raikal. Raikal going well, the Malaysian, but his countryman, Leonardo Maury, is in there with him, trying to get the move done. With Travis Teoh and the Singaporean Danish Chen close behind. Still seeking those opportunities under the bridge, but Maury is settling into a rhythm now. I think Leonardo Maury is well aware of the fact that he can actually work with Zadia Raikal to try and close up on Aaron Garthia and try and make a play for second place. It's not out of the woods for that yet. Toby Gale, meanwhile, is not only leading, but he's well clear of Aaron Garthia, and he's actually pulling about 0.2 of a second per lap. He's not just winning, he's dominating. And the man from Pattaya going so strong at the front of the field that the others are just racing for second place now. And Mori is certainly racing for that. He's going to get up the inside of Raikal. Third position for the Cosmic. Lovely job from Leonardo Mori. This is the home circuit for the 7 Racing team. They are based in the garage just under the starting gantry. And Leonardo Mori has a real chance here to take on the man up front. If anyone's going to go head-to-head with Aaron Garcia, a Leonardo Mori challenge would be wonderful to watch. So Garcia, oh, look at this. They're actually gesticulating to each other. Come on, Leo, get on with it. If you're going to get past me, you need to go after Aaron. And Leo's doing, I'm trying it. But this is fascinating gameplay between these two drivers. Saria Vrykal getting frustrated, but now Leonardo Mori is opening up the taps. He's getting away. And even in the toe, the parallel closes, but it's not close enough to really be a threat to Leonardo Mori in the long term, because the Cosmic is definitely quicker in the other parts of the course. So he's got to hope for some support from his teammate, Travis Teoh. That's where he can make the bounce back. But Garcia is now a second clear of Mori. That's the reason that Raikal was so frustrated, because you got ahead of me and then you held me up. And that has given us a second deficit now to Aaron Garcia, who in turn is nearly 2 seconds back from Toby Gale. Meanwhile, Sera Kojima is having a great battle with Andrea Galimberti. Galimberti trying to get through. Conrad Garro is in the mix as well. So it's deja vu for Andrea Galimberti. He's battling with Sera Kojima and Conrad Garro, just like he was last year in Junior. So as the drivers go up over the top of the crest, behind Sonny Ratcliffe, Kojima is the one who's on top at the moment in front of Galimberti and Garro. Then Ethan Singer, who's making a big impact in this race already. He's not just up towards the top 10, he's staying there. Another good run from Nathan Aria. He's up to 12th in front of Ashton Young, Jerry T, Svatanoras, Ryan Gunavordena, and then Panya Yamchan from Emir Danish, Jonas Tan, and Michael Henderson. So Gale is now almost 2 seconds clear of Garcia, although they were pretty even Stevens on the last lap in terms of pace. But Toby Gale has got himself away from the toe. That's the important thing. With 6 laps to go, Toby Gale looks like he can just skip his way to the victory now. It's certainly been a very challenging run as Galimberti still dueling with Singer, and Galimberti runs too far wide. Singer and Aria have both got through as Aria now gets the move on Ethan Singer, and Galimberti's at the back of the queue. There he is. The Italian, Andrea Galimberti's having a real miserable race out there. Certainly not what he was hoping for at the beginning of the week. And Andrea Galimberti trying his best now. He takes on Ethan Singer, dives down at the bottom of the hill, gets out wide, but he's got the pace out of the corner. He can hold it in front of Ethan Singer. 5 laps to go. But this is not what was in the script for Andrea Galimberti and the Top One Motorsport team at all, as Galimberti slips all the way to 11th. Toby Gale, Aaron Garcia, 2 seconds back. Then Leonardo Mori, and then the 3 DRM Paralins. Zania Vrykal, Travis Teoh, and Danish Chen. Then Sonny Ratcliffe, Sera Kojima, Conrad Garro, and Nathan Aria. A fascinating battle as the competitors still work closely to make the moves. A little bit of hustling in the middle of the race, but certainly enough to be challenging for position. Oh, and a run wide there from Ryan Gunavordena. Ryan Gunavordena, the Sri Lankan, going out wide and losing a couple of positions. I'm not sure if that was an assisted move or whether that was a mistake from another driver. But for Toby Gale, he doesn't even have to think about that kind of thing. He's currently 2.3 seconds clear of Aaron Garcia, just when he needed to. Toby Gale has pulled out the stops. He was scrabbling for the lead with Dylan Tan earlier. Now he's dominating in the Superheat. So whatever it is they needed to change, they've certainly made good work of it at Biralat Asia. And Toby Gale coming up with the goods. Aaron Garcia, Leonardo Mori, Zadia Vrykal, Travis Teoh, Danish Chen. And then it is Sonny Ratcliffe, Sera Kojima, Conrad Garro, and Nathan Aria, with Andrea Galimberti struggling for pace in 11th position. This is not what we've come to expect from the Italian. So Leonardo Mori tried his best to close up on Aaron Garcia, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out that way. He's got to third position, but I'm not sure there's anything left. Certainly doesn't look like there's anything left for Raikko's tyres. He's struggling to get away from his teammates, Travis Teoh and Danish Chen, and he's losing too much per lap to really make a push on Leonardo Mori. So with 3 laps to go, Toby Gale is 2.5 clear of Garcia. The win in the Superheat looks almost nailed on now. So as far as Toby Gale is concerned, it's just bring it home, chalk one up, and focus on the next one. But for Aaron Garcia, it looks as though the pace was just a little bit too much in the heats because he can't get it together in the Superheat. 2.5 seconds to the deficit. But he'll still be in front of the Paralins and Leonardo Mori. Although Mori is really starting to eat up the road now to Garcia. I wonder if the tyres are really starting to drop away for the LOR Kart Republic. There is Mori, and he's got 3 laps to do something about Garcia. Just getting into the slipstream could be enough. If he gets into the toe on one of the last couple of laps, he'll make up so much time. You can make up as much as 0.6 of a second just in the toe. So all Garcia has to do is stay in front of Mori. All Mori has to do is put Garcia under pressure. Gale looks over his shoulder, and he knows that Garcia is a long way back. Mori is trying to make himself as aerodynamic as possible. The gap is 0.6 of a second. He can try and make up some of that on this lap. There is Garcia, there is Mori. And then the Paralins of Raikko, Teoh and Chen. 2 to go. Is there going to be enough time for Leonardo Mori to attack Aaron Garcia? He's got to hope that he can make up most of that time in the toe on the next lap. But certainly it looks as though the Kart Republic is struggling for pace at the moment. And as they work their way through, good pace and good battles. The top 6 still working their craft. Ratcliffe is being caught rapidly by Kojima and by Conrad Garrow. So there could be a change of positions towards the end of the race there as well. And there's a problem for the top 1 machine at the back of the field. Problems there as we've got a kart slowing. I think it's Jerry G. Jerry G appears to be slowing, so problems there for Jerry G. I don't think he's going to get to the end of this one. So Toby Gale leads going into the final lap. Garcia second, and Mori's doing his best. The gap is down to 0.4 of a second. It might be enough for Mori to make one push. And Sarah Kojima has managed to get ahead of Sunny Ratcliffe. So she's up in a 7th place on the last lap. So Kojima now going defensive. Conrad Garrow could be the push on Sunny Ratcliffe. And Andrea Galimberti is still there in 11th position behind Nathan Aria, trying to make some progress as Jerry T pulls into the pits to retire. But it's Toby Gale out in front. Even if Mori can get one move on Garcia, it's not going to change the victory. Here is the man who's going to get it done. And the man from Pattaya is going to get it done one more time in 2026. Toby Gale. He only missed 1 race weekend because of his battle in Macau. Oh, contact! Further back, Garrow and Ratcliffe collide. Conrad Garrow and Sunny Ratcliffe collide on the final lap. Both of them out of it. But it's going to be victory for Toby Gale nonetheless. Toby Gale gets the win at an absolute dominant streak. Garcia in front of Mori. And then Raikko, Teoh and Chen. Sarah Kojima survives. And she will come through in 7th position ahead of Aria Galimberti. And in 10th position after all of that, it's going to be Ashton Young. Wow, very unfortunate end to the race then for Conrad Garrow, who does get going again, but he'll finish at the back. But what a race battle. Toby Gale, Aaron Garcia and Leonardo Mori at the front end of the field in Senior X30. Some big battles to come for sure, but for Toby Gale, that is one step closer to glory. A Superheat domination that they can really be proud of at the end there. And it certainly sets him up for one final push. Superheat Asia struggling a little bit in Senior X30 this weekend, but boy, have they brought it back when it's needed. Full credit to Michael Patrizzi and all the rest of the team at Superheat Asia. Part of the Patrizzi course stable. They've really put on a good show over the course of this week. And now it's all starting to come together right when it matters most. And even if Toby Gale's back is up against the wall, when you need him to deliver, he's always going to rise to the occasion. Fantastic work from Toby Gale, exactly when it was needed. And despite missing Macau due to an exam, you've got to focus on your education as much as you do your racing. He's now in position to lock and stranglehold this title exactly at the right moment. Toby Gale comes in, and it really has been a sensational